You've got to have a voice inside yourself that is so strong that it speaks louder than all the crap people talk to you.
Because if you just sit there and accept everything that's thrown at you, life will trample you. It'll kick dirt in your face and tell you you're no good.
Don't let this negative world beat you down. Don't let it win.
At some point, you gotta start standing up for yourself. At some point, you gotta start fighting back.
Get away from all these people who ain't doing nothing with their lives. These people are toxic. They'll attack you on your journey. They'll actively work against you. These people's opinions of you ain't none of your business. You are the only one who dictates how far you can go. The possibilities for you are unlimited. If it's building a business, starting a career, traveling the world, making a difference in society, you can do whatever you believe you can do. He who thinks he can and he who thinks he can't are both usually right.
You've got to build your level of self-confidence to a point where when they fight against your ideas, it only adds fuel to your desire to win.
Many doors will be closed in your face. Many loans that you'll want will be denied. Many jobs you apply for, they'll reject you, and most people will give up. But you've got to decide within yourself that I'm going to be fearless. I'm going to be relentless. I refuse to accept failure as my final result. And I'm going to go all out to get it. I'm going to give it everything I possibly have. No obstacle, no challenge, no person is going to keep me from my dream.
Don't allow the opinions of others to shut you down. When they talk, you go hard. When they doubt you, you shut them up with your results. The best revenge in life is massive success. Don't allow anyone or anything to steal your dream. If you dare to be great, if you dare to do something that you've never done before, if you dare to go to limits that you've never been to before, you'll achieve more than you could ever imagine.
And when you're going through bad times, I want you to remember, you're not being buried, you're being planted. You may be underground, but you're not buried in this mess. You're planted in it. And when you're planted in it, you should expect to come back up again. And when you come back up, you'll be completely transformed by the experiences that you've endured.
When you're going through pain, you're not suffering. You're building strength, you're building resilience, you're building perseverance, you're building everything it takes to win.
When you have fear, fear makes you think in a way you shouldn't be thinking and makes you do stuff you shouldn't be doing. But when you have faith, you don't need to know what you're up against. When you have faith, you don't need to know how much it's going to take. When you have faith, you just believe and it'll happen.
You concentrate on working on your dream. You don't worry about tomorrow. You concentrate on this opportunity right now with all your might, with all your soul, with all your heart. You focus on this, and tomorrow will take care of itself. You gotta believe within yourself that you are the one. You are the one to make it happen. You are the one to succeed. You are the one who will be living their dream. You gotta feel that you're entitled to this, that you're supposed to have this. This is your calling. This is your time. Now is your moment. You gotta stand up inside yourself and tell yourself, I can do this. I can handle this. I can overcome anything that comes against me. You're more powerful than you realize. You're stronger than you think you are. You're tougher than you think you are. You can survive more than you think you can. You can go further than you believe you can. You're more capable than you could ever possibly imagine. When you no longer focus on the obstacles, when you no longer care what people think or what people have to say, when you no longer find the need to seek their approval, when you stop counting the cost of what it's going to take to reach your dream, it is done. When the pressure within you is greater than the pressure outside of you.
No matter how good you are, no matter how fast you are, no matter how smart you are, no matter how strong you are, there is always someone out there who will be bigger, faster, smarter, or stronger. So what do? You can't always control who or what you're up against, but you can always control your effort. You must outwork every single one of those people you're competing with. When you find yourself up against other people and see yourself falling behind, are you the person who gives up and gives in?
Are you the person who starts making excuses for why you're not doing as much as you could? Are you the person who finds it a reason to start doing things you're not supposed to, taking breaks, slacking off, sleeping in, eating like crap? Or are you the one who sees opportunity? The opportunity to get ahead of everyone else. The opportunity to work harder and perform better when it's game time. The opportunity to improve yourself and hold yourself accountable to what you know you can achieve if you really tried your hardest. In the shadows and darkness, when most people are still in bed or have gone home already, where you fight to become the best version of yourself every damn day.
It's that process of pushing yourself to perform better. That's what stretches you to reach higher and higher levels. You don't become number one by taking it easy. You become number one by pushing yourself to the outer limits of your capabilities.
It's these quiet, unseen moments that legends are made. You're not there to participate, you're there to fucking dominate.
You gotta refuse to accept that you are what you are, and that what your life is like now is what you're doomed to be forever. No, you fight. You scratch and claw every day to improve, just a little bit. Weeding out all those weaknesses you have sneaking around in your brain. You weed those out with discipline, forcing yourself to execute on your mission for the day.
Doing those hard things you have resistance from doing. And as you shut down those weaknesses, as you continue to prune out all the fickle feelings of laziness, you are literally building mental strength. You become tougher through completion. When you get hard stuff done, it builds your belief in your vision. It builds belief in your company. It builds belief in your ideas. It builds belief in yourself.
So while most people are sitting around waiting for change, making all these amazing plans for how to revolutionize their lives and become better, you get your up and get to work. Plans don't change people. Action changes people. So make movement. Move forward every day of your life.
If they make 10 sales, you make 20. If they work 8 hours, you work 10. Whatever they do, I need you to do just a little more, because when you add up all those extra bits of effort, day after day after day, that's going to make the difference between winning and losing.
When others start slacking off, making excuses, you see a golden opportunity. It's your chance to double down, to push harder when everyone else is easing up. Every setback, every obstacle is a chance to show what you're made of. It's a chance to toughen up, to hone your skills, to rise above the bullshit.
You might not control the raw talent, but you sure as hell control the effort. It's about grinding harder, pushing further, sweating more. It's about turning every damn ounce of your being into a relentless pursuit of excellence. You become the nightmare of everyone in your field, because while they're resting on their laurels, you're out there, grinding, improving, outworking every single one of them.
You don't just aim to keep up. You aim to leave them all in dust.
I dominate. When I die, you ain't gonna forget my name. I dominate this doggone thing. I dominate. Where I go, stuff happens. I dominate. If you gonna win, you just can't play this game, because there are other teams that want to do exactly what you gotta do. So what you gotta do in practice is dominate in practice. Some of y'all, that's your problem. You think that you can dominate when the lights come on. If you can't dominate in practice, you can't dominate when the lights come on. I get up every morning at 3 o'clock. I dominate at 3 o'clock in the morning. I dominate when everybody's asleep. I dominate at 4 in the morning, 6 in the morning. Why? Because y'all just getting up. I dominate in the dark. I dominate when nobody sees me. Because you just got to get there before the genius get there. They ain't waking up to 8. So if you get up at 3, you ain't got to be smarter than them. You just got to be quicker than them. You just got to be faster than them. You just got to get to the spot before they get to the spots. You ain't got to be them. You ain't got to be on their level. You don't have to be as smart. You don't have to become them. You can stay you, but you got to get there before they get there if you going to stay you.
Are we the underdogs?
Good! That's where legends rise!
They overlook us, we overperform.
They doubt us, we outdo.
We keep moving, we keep pushing, unstoppable. Let's carve our names right here and right now.
I guarantee you, when I line up and they line up, I want what all other men want. But when the challenge hits, when the opposition hits, when the pain creeps in, when the uncertainty creeps in, when the cuts, when the scars, when the bruises come, I just wanted a little bit more than they wanted. And if you ain't got more heart than me, if you ain't been working harder than me, if you ain't sacrificed more than me, I'm gonna destroy you. And so that's how I conquer, and that's how nobody has ever beaten me yet. Like when you work for something, it gives you a different type of attachment to it.
I need you to eat, sleep, breathe, dominate. We're not playing to the level of our competition no more. You're gonna look at film in the way they don't look at film. You're gonna practice in the way they don't practice. Listening to coach, paying attention, being locked in and focused. Everything you do is gonna be in a way that nobody else does. You can't win it if you can't see it. You gotta see each one. You gotta see yourself winning in practice. You gotta see yourself winning the game. The championship, you gotta see yourself. Wake up every single day. I was here before I was here. I was in this spot right here. I was talking from right here. I envisioned it. I saw it already. I'll see it before it happens. Discipline means that you dominate when you feel like it, and you dominate when you don't feel like it.
What do you do when somebody's not there watching you? What do you do when you have to either do what it is you know you're supposed to do without somebody there to supervise you, or you get to take the play off because no one's going to know the difference? Those are the things that make up success, and that's discipline. You have to do the things that you don't feel like doing because you know it needs to be done.
Train hard.
Push limits. Learn every single day. That's our backbone. That's our hustle. This is our turn. Our unwavering will. Every tackle, every move is for something bigger.
Discipline is you do it so long and so hard and you're so passionate about it that even when you don't feel like it, you still operate at the highest level.
Embrace the process, trust the process, but most importantly, you gotta respect the process. Talent would never supersede it. If we respect it the way we say we respect it, if we love it the way we say we love it, if we cherish it the way we say we cherish it, every single day should be nothing less than excellence. You might not always be your best, but you can always bring me your best. It's about outworking, outlasting, and outperforming not just others, but your past self. It's about the relentless pursuit of excellence, the unyielding discipline, and the unstoppable force of taking action every single day.
When nobody's watching, in those early mornings, when it's dark, it's wet, it's cold, you feel tired, you feel sore, it's warm on the couch, what do you do then?
I know everybody ain't gonna do what I'm gonna do. This is how you level up. I know there's a whole bunch of people with that right there. That fires me up. That brings joy to my life right there. Because I know there's so many people that have the ability and just refuse to get off that couch. Refuse to study a few more hours. Refuse to go deeper, to go further. And that's where I gain the advantage.
No one goes the extra mile and keeps going.
I feel like this next generation that's coming up, they seem like a bunch of puppies to me.
It's so easy to be great nowadays, my friend, because most people are weak. Most people don't want to go that extra mile. Most people don't want to find that extra because it sucks. It's miserable. It's lonely. Now I thrive in that. That's the only place to be.
There's never been more opportunity than there is right now. If you're a savage and you get out there and you grind hard and you want it bad enough, you can run all these guys over, man.
I was never the strongest guy. I'm not the fastest guy. Not the smartest guy. But I will work, and I will work hard.
I'll never be in the Olympics. I'll never be a professional athlete, but still I grind. I fail at most things I do, but still I grind. I don't want to do half the shit I do, but still I grind. And that one day, you see me down a dark alley, running at 1 o'clock in the morning, know one thing, I was grinding.
I will be up when my competitor's asleep. I will be up when my enemy is curled up in bed. I will be up getting after it.
If you can't right now, there's no one looking, man.
If no one was looking, I had a chance to sneak in some extra work. To do a little bit more while no one's looking. They'll think I'm better than I am. So I recommend you do that right now. No one's looking, you're home alone, do more!
Do I like the long hours? No. Do I like having to watch a game at 3 o'clock in the morning? No. But I have to be prepared because I'm addicted to the result.
If today you never say good enough, tomorrow you'll always have enough. Championships aren't won in the theater or the arena.
They're wanting it thousands of hours in the training room, the labs, and the 5 a.m. runs, and then it's raining when everyone else is sleeping. That's when it's won. The heart of a champion is a light switch that's always on. It doesn't go on and off when someone's watching. It's constant. Champions aren't found on the podium with their hand up. No, champions are found in the lab studies with thousands of hours of hard work when no one's watching. That's what makes the will unstoppable. When you're here and no one else is, and you're pushing yourself harder than anybody with no one around. It's how you look at something. If your name's attached to it, then you do it right. The best of your ability every single time. If you're dusting your countertops, do you dust around the picture frame, or do you pick the up and dust the entire thing? Do the job right or don't do it at all. That's the same person who has his hand raised on the podium one day.
How you hold yourself in the small things of life. Build the character-winning blocks of the things that we're remembered for. And it begins now with no one looking. How you hold yourself. How you see yourself. What do you do when nobody's watching? If you do it then, I guarantee you'll be doing it when everyone's watching.
Execute, execute, execute. And that's what people don't do. They don't execute. Making a freaking plan is the easy part. And you have to understand, if you don't execute on the plan, if you don't get up in the morning when you're feeling tired, scared, if you don't execute, you're not just cheating yourself. You're cheating your family. You're cheating your employees. You're cheating your team. Whatever you're a part of, it's bigger than you, man.
Nobody wants to do it. That's the thing. When you look at someone and you say that man or that woman has something that I don't have, nobody woke up with it. They got it from showing up every day and executing. And especially when they don't feel like it. Do you think that this just happens? You think, I'm going to show up, I'm going to put in my time, and then I'm going to be rich. And that ain't what happens.
Everyone's always looking for other people to do stuff for them. Stop looking for help from everybody else. It starts and ends with you.
You've got to do more. You've got to become valuable. You've got to understand that what you get paid to do is the minimum. And everything on top of that is your investment in your future.
So if you're going to stand out, don't do the same thing that everybody else is doing. Separate yourself. You playing against other teams and you doing exactly what they're doing. Separate yourself. Stop doing what they doing. If you stop doing what they doing, you're going to be a champion. Stop following. No more following. No more doing what everybody else is doing. Set the doggone standards. It's time for y'all to set the standard.
If you decide that my life deserves my developing this what I do well, and becoming the best at it and mastering myself and seeing what I have within me, I grant you that your gifts will take you places that will literally amaze you. All of us need some area of our lives where we can have a feeling of competence. That people know when they think about this area, that's something you do. That you eat and sleep that. And that you do that. You do that. And people know it. If you begin to work to develop your gifts, you'll develop a strong sense of happiness. You'll get a larger vision of yourself.
The harder you work, the harder it is to surrender.
Everything you do it like this is the last time you're gonna do it.
If you're in bed right now and you're rolling around, you can't fall asleep, get them. It probably means you haven't done an honest day's work to earn that rest at night. I can put an honest day's work in here like more than anyone does in a week. And no one sees it because it's supposed to be that way. This is the means to the ends. It's not the ends. And you're not in here to get an achievement. You're in here to pay your dues so later in life you never wonder what it.
You know what you got to do to get to paradise? You got to fight like get to paradise. The ones that can fight, the ones that come back, those are the ones that succeed. Those are the icons of the world. There's many legends out there. There's very few icons.
Do I want to be here right now? No, I don't want to be here right now. I'm much rather be home watching the game. But later down the road, I don't want to always watching the f***ing game. One day I want to play the game. So by being here now ensures that I'm not going to be a spectator for the rest of my life. That's why I love the f***ing pain and progress.
It is the process of the grind that shapes you and forms you. It's not the game. And that's why most of y'all get beat in the game or make mistakes in the game because you think grinding is what happens when the sun comes out. You think grinding is what happens when the lights come on. You think grinding is what happens when people get in the stage. That's not grind. The real grind is in the dark when nobody sees you. When nobody knows what you're doing. When you studying without coach, when you putting in those extra reps, when you watching those videos and you getting inspired, when you change your music, it's the process that makes you sweet.
If you've ever had a moment in your life that you have measured yourself and come up short, If you've ever poured yourself into an individual, a company, a place or thing, and didn't get the results you expected, then this one is for you.
When life is beating you down, and you lose your job, you lose your money, you lose your spouse, you feel like you can't do it anymore. When you feel that pain creeping in, you feel that defeat,
you must remind yourself of how tough you really are.
This is not the first time you've gone through pain. This is not the first time you've felt the sting of failure. You've got to remember that every time you're going through adversity, it is making you stronger.
You are not being burned, you are being forged. You're being forged into a beast.
But it's not going to be easy. No, it's going to try and rip you apart. It's going to break you down before you can have the opportunity to build yourself back up. You're going to feel overwhelmed and stressed out of your mind and don't know what to do next to solve the problems you're facing. But when you can put yourself in a position where you decide that you won't give yourself a way out, you won't allow the darkness to win, you won't accept failure as an outcome, one way or another, you will find a way through it.
It's gonna be a dogfight. It's gonna be rough. It's gonna knock you to your knees and keep beating you. But you gotta make up in your mind that it is not over until I win. I will get a reward for the pain that I go through. I will not stop in the middle of the process. I will not be defeated. I will not be destroyed. I will take everything that happens in my life and I will allow the pain to push me to greatness. You will not break me. You will not stop me. The only way I lose is if I quit.
To become a champion, you gotta endure immense challenges. If you can't withstand challenges, you'll never be a champion. If giving up tempts you when your legs give out, don't even begin. If the easy route tempts you when the pressure hits, don't even bother taking the first step. If you don't believe doors will be slammed in your face 1,000,000 times or you won't face rejection, don't even embark on the journey. For me though, every rejection fuels me. Why? Because I am not a failure. I'm just one more attempt away from success. If I just keep trying and keep trying and keep trying, I will eventually win.
Life can't deny you forever. Life can't keep telling you no forever. If you are relentless, at some point you will break through. I refuse to veer to the left or veer to the right or gradually get things together. No, that's not gonna happen. I'm getting ready to turn this whole situation around 180 degrees.
On the other side of your pain is freedom. Opportunity comes in chaos. A chance to stand up. A chance to get it right. A chance to make a U-turn. I need you to find a reason to keep going. And if you can find a reason to keep going, I know that you'll be strong enough to get through it. Because every human has what it takes to persevere through whatever they're facing, if they decide to.
Push through it. Tragedy and trials come to everybody, but only the strong survive. Most people keep running away from all these obstacles, and they don't realize that it is the obstacles that are going to take them to the next level. Those are the things that are going to push you to break through.
So every time you feel that pain, you feel that heat, you feel that pressure, remind yourself that this is what is going to make me better. This is going to redefine me. This is going to make me into an unbreakable winner.
I need you to have mental toughness. When that thing you're up against tells you to quit, I want you to look at it in the eye and say, I will break you before you break me. I will not be destroyed. I will outlast you. I'm tougher than you. I can take it. I got what it takes to win. You will not defeat me.
And some of you are not successful because every single time you run up against a trial, every time you run up against a tribulation, you stop trying and you cut off beast mode. And what I'm here to tell you is, in the middle of the struggle, in the middle of the chaos, you got to tell that thing, I will not leave without that goal. I will not leave this opportunity until I'm successful. It is not over until I win.
I am not phenomenally skilled, but I am phenomenally willed. I will not give up. I will not surrender. I will not quit. I'm not successful because I'm the best. I'm successful because life tried to break me and it couldn't. I outlasted all the struggles, all the hurt, all the haters, all the failures, and I kept getting back up and facing it head on without losing enthusiasm for the dream.
However hard life tries to hit you, I need you to hit twice as hard back. match whatever level of energy the enemy is putting up and destroy it. You've invested too much to quit. You've made too many sacrifices to give up. Get a reward for all the hell you've been through.
I don't care what's the circumstance. I don't care what's the situation. You face the challenge, you put it on your back, and you say, Roger that. And you continue to execute on your mission, on your goal, on your plans, on your dream.
When you come up against that thing, you gotta be prepared to outperform that thing. And you gotta make up in your mind before you get to that challenge, before you get to that cancer, before you get to that sickness, before you get to that battle. You gotta be mentally ready to take on whatever life is gonna hit you with. And you gotta see yourself getting through this and past this. You gotta know you can handle anything this world can throw at you. And you gotta make up in your mind that I will not leave without getting what I want. The battle is not over until I win.
It's not easy out there. People are always saying you can't, that you shouldn't, that you're not smart enough, not good enough. This world, it beats you up again and again until eventually most people, they just stop trying. But you're not like that. You're a fighter. You always have been.
Everybody in your life will have a turn back moment. No matter who you are, you're going to have such a period in your life where it seems like it's not working. You're going to have doubts. You're going to have a lot of trials and tribulations and challenges. You always have a moment in your life where the direction you're going, you will have to make a decision to keep going or you turn back. The sad thing is, the average person turns back.
It's hard living. Life is hard.
Life is not easy at all. There's gonna be challenges. You're gonna get beat down.
And that tough situation is making you want to stop.
And you will fail sometimes, and that's okay. That's okay, as long as you get back up.
Take that next step. Keep moving forward.
And no matter what, do not quit.
I don't care how low you are. I don't care what you have done. I don't care what you have experienced. I don't care how devastated your life might appear to be. The shambles it might be in. Wherever you are in life, ladies and gentlemen, you've got comeback power.
Everything you're going through is preparing you for what you asked God for. You just gotta quit tripping while you're in the process, because the process is necessary. You may not see it now, but when He gets you on the other side of it, you're gonna see exactly why it went that way, and you're gonna be okay with it. Pull yourself together and quit tripping, cause you in the process. God is processing you. He ain't through with you. If He was through with you, you would not wake up in the morning.
Tough times never last, but tough people do. And you are tough. You're made of some special stuff. There was nobody here before you. You brought something here that was not here before you showed up. Guess what? Nobody's gonna do your work for you. Nobody's gonna write your book for you. That has been given to you to do. You want your stuff? It's necessary you take responsibility for it, that you make it happen, that you don't give up, that you don't take any objection or disappointment or defeats personally, that you keep on keeping on, that you don't decide that I can't make it because you can't see the light at the end of the tunnel, that you realize that's a part of the program. And here's something you've got to resolve. Say this to yourself every day. Not over till I win. Not over till I get through. Not over till I get over. Not over till I get what I want. That's how you got to do that. You've got to have that kind of courage, that type of determination. If you want to make it happen, it's you.
Some people, you just, y'all start losing and you just stop playing. You just like, I give up, I quit, we already lost.
And so you let it go. And you settle for the status quo. You settle for the easy road. You settle for, oh well.
But here's the thing. There is no passion to be found playing small and settling for a life that's less than the one you're capable of living.
Greatness is a lot of small things done well. Day after day, workout after workout, obedience after obedience, day after day.
You think you're just gonna change the game, you're just gonna change the rules. It don't work like that. There's a standard to greatness and there's levels to this.
To get something you never had, you have to do something you never did.
And some of you right now, you are where you are, you're giving 60% when you have 120 in you. There are those of you with a big dream but a little grind. I need you to pick your grind up. I need you to pick your grind up. There's nothing wrong with your dream. You have a great dream, but your grind does not affect your dream. And I need you to wake up every single day, and I need you to use your 24 hours like you've never used it before. You gotta get tired of losing. You don't belong at the bottom, and it's time for you to get your butt from down there. It's time for you to stop being comfortable at the bottom. Get your butt up. Get where you belong. Do what you're supposed to do. Live like you're supposed to live. I made a decision. Enough is enough. It's showtime. And your grind has to match your dream. You can't play as much as you used to play. You can't go where you used to go. You can't do what you used to do. And now you gotta push your grind up to match your dream. You still fighting people. You still cussing folk out. You still laying hands on people. That's the easy fight. Now fight your bad habits. Fight your addictions now. Fight your laziness. Fight your procrastination. Take that energy now and fight to get a degree. Fight to start a company. Fight. Use that energy for something positive. And so while you talking about your haters, it ain't your haters that's stopping you. It's you that's stopping you. You gotta go get it. It might take you more than 6 months. It might take you more than a year. It might take you more than 2 years. I don't care how long it takes. I don't care the sacrifice. You put in too many hours. You made too many phone calls. You put in too much money. You've invested too much time to quit now. You've given too much. You should have quit last year. You should have quit 2 years ago. You've come too far to give up. The only thing you can do right now is go all in. You gotta create the type of scenario that if it doesn't work, you lose everything. And because you cannot lose everything, you gotta make it happen.
Put yourself in a position where you can't retreat, where it's do or die, sink or swim. Here's what you'll find out. You'll develop incredible swimming skill. You'll find yourself stroking unlike you've ever seen before. Through the inspiration of desperation, you'll become more creative than ever before.
If you want to take the island, burn the boats, and you will take the island because people, when they're going to either die or succeed, tend to succeed. You can't have that life until you're willing to put in that work. I need you to hustle until you no longer have to introduce yourself. I need you to work this business so hard that you don't have to convince anybody. I need you to work this business so hard that they begging you to get in. They begging to get on your team. They're begging to go on the road. I need you to hustle so hard. I need you to go in so hard that people start calling you and you don't have to call them.
You owe it to yourself to give it your best effort. If you get in the habit of being mediocre or doing just enough to get by, you're not hurting anybody but you. You're cheating you.
But you're giving 50% and you said it's not working. You're giving 60% and you said it's not working.
Weak people who lose, they have bad shit happen to them and they say, well, I tried, I did my best, it was this guy's fault, it was my boss's fault, and they make all these excuses. And winners do not do that at all. They get punched in the face, they sit down for a second and they say, and they get back up and they keep going. I choose to perceive the difficult days as a test that has showed up to reinforce the belief that I have in myself, to reinforce what I know about myself. And if we all approach the difficult times like that and we continue to push through, our confidence will go up tremendously. Is it easy? No. Is it worth it? Yes. Yes, your life is worth it.
It's time for you to unleash the beast. It's time for you to go inside and unleash that fire, unleash that purpose, unleash your passion. You gotta make a commitment that you'll never ever give 60%. You'll never ever give 70%. From this day forward, you give it 120%.
120%, that's my standard of excellence, my standard of greatness. 120 is being better and bigger and bolder, going further and faster, setting goals and shattering goals. 120 is giving my all. 120 to the day I die.
For some of you, Your problem is there's some stuff you don't want to give up to go up. There's certain things you cannot get. There's certain levels you can't go to. There's certain things you can't be. When you're not committed and when you don't feel like doing it, guess what happened? You don't do it.
What's in your head is the voice of weakness and laziness, saying you don't need to go hard, saying you can take the day off. You got another voice in your head that's asking you a question. It's asking you, what could you be? What could you be if you worked as hard as you could? What could you be if you imposed real discipline in your life? What could you be?
It's that demon voice that whispers in your ear that says, get up, you're not good enough. You gotta work harder. You haven't put enough time in.
We don't like that feeling. We don't like that challenge. We like that person who says, hey, it's okay, brother. We'll take a day off, man. We'll get a pizza, watch the game. We like that. We love that feeling. Why? Because you understand, man, we're good, bro. That's the mediocrity of life. We don't want that who's like this. Hey, man, no, bro. Get your on, man. Stop being a punk. We don't want that in our lives. We don't want that person who's constantly challenging our weaknesses.
It's that voice you don't want to hear. But guess what? It's that voice you need to listen to.
I don't know where you're gonna end up if you implement discipline into your life, if you start lining up tasks and smashing them, if you start aggressively pursuing your goals. I don't know where it's gonna end up, but you know what? I got an idea. Let's find out. Let's find out where it ends up. Let's find out where it goes when you implement discipline in your life and you start getting after it.
I'm talking about being self-regulated, where you don't need nobody to wake you up in the morning. You don't need no alarm clock. You don't need a teacher telling you what you should and shouldn't be doing.
You need to work harder. You need to discipline your mind better. And so many people just want it the easy way. We put a governor on our brain. The second we feel pain, discomfort, suffering, we slow down. We stop.
You want a bad life? Then we gotta have hardcore rules. No weakness. Everybody has 60,000 to 70,000 thoughts going through their mind a day. Now, the thoughts you had yesterday, you think those same thoughts are gonna come today? Yes. You know why? Because if nothing changes, nothing changes. You wanna know why your mindset's not changing? You wanna know why your belief's not changing? Because you have the same record playing in your head every day about how today's gonna go.
Every day when you wake up, you got two options. You can look at the clock and hit the snooze. You can look at that snooze button, boom. You can hit the snooze button and go back to bed and dream about what you want to have. Right there with your comfortable pillow, you dreaming about what you want to be. Or you can look at that snooze button, kick that clock and get up and go pursue your dreams. And when you embrace the grind will reward you.
Whatever you put into something's whatever you get out of it. But some of you think something gets better by bitching and whining and complaining and feeling like a little victim. You could have been that guy that had the six-pack, the back car, all the money in the bank. All you needed was that discipline to lock it in. So as I'm talking to you, you can make excuses or you can own all.
But if you ain't working for it like that, it don't mean that. You don't really want it. You gotta work. People say, man, how you get so big? Because I knew my goal. I knew what I wanted to be. I ruled my body. I run my body. I tell my body what it wants to eat. I work out even when I don't feel like it. I work out because it's not what I do. It's who I am. So if you want to be successful, you gotta rule yourself.
You have to make a list of the things that you don't like to do. If you don't like making calls, the very first thing you should do, call a lot. Guess what happens? You get over it. You have to triple down on your weaknesses and make that become where you start to guide yourself. Okay, I don't like calling. Today I'm making 100 calls. I'm gonna dial 100 times. And when you do that, that's where you grow. It sucks, but you have to continue to fight and move on. Nothing is easy, but you have a choice to make. Do you want to sit down and go back to that guy you once were? No. So this is what it takes. And every day you wake up, it sucks. And when it's over, you feel better. It sucks, you feel better. It sucks, you feel better. And as you get going, every step you take in that journey, you're beating the demon again.
Well, what do you do on the days that you don't feel like? Every day I feel like. Every day I feel like eating. Every day I feel like giving my wife the best life. Every single day of my life, I feel like giving 120. Every single day, it's because I'm counting on me. My wife's counting on me. I don't have days to waste. I've been getting up so early for so long. I've dominated my sleep pattern. I've dominated my laziness. I've dominated procrastination. That when I get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, my body just click at 3 o'clock in the morning. Discipline. Discipline is you do it so long and so hard and you're so passionate about it that even when you don't feel like it, you still operate at the highest level. No more 50%. No more 70%. No more. I want you at 85 and climbing. And I mean moving rapidly. And I know if you guys operate off 120 with the spirit that you have, it's going to be on a whole other level.
It isn't in a war. It isn't in a battle. It isn't in a melee of fire and destruction that most of us succumb to weakness. We are taken apart slowly, convinced to take an easier path, enticed by comfort. Most of us aren't defeated in one decisive battle. We are defeated one tiny, seemingly insignificant surrender at a time that chips away at who we should really be. It isn't that you wake up one day and decide, that's it, I'm going to be weak. No, it is a slow, incremental process. It chips away at our will, it chips away at our discipline. We sleep in a little later, we miss a workout, then another. We start to eat what we shouldn't eat and drink what we shouldn't drink. And without realizing it, one day you wake up and you've become something that you never would have allowed. So, you have to be vigilant. You have to be on guard. You have to hold the line on the seemingly insignificant little things. Things that shouldn't matter, but things that do.
And so I started going to work earlier. I started being the last one to leave there. I started working harder than anybody else. The other guys could not. Why would you work so hard, Les? I said, I'm not working for them. I've been cheating myself and my family. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, do it with everything that you have. Develop the habit of giving more than what you're paid for. Develop the habit of setting standards that others will be measured by. Someone said, do not go where the path may lead, but go where there's no path and leave a trail.
You need to stop this whining, this crying all the damn time, and get up and do something about it. Where there's a will, there's a way. When you've got air in your lungs, then you have no excuse. It's just a matter of perspective. You're either gonna be sheep, or you're gonna be a lion. You're gonna be an attacker and a go-getter. But if you want to sit there and cry and moan and whine all the time, well, you can't, then you sit on that bench with the losers, and you stay there. But don't expect me to turn around and pat you on the back and say, hey, good job for being a quitter. Get up and do something about it.
People who win do, and people who lose talk. You can win if you choose to learn the things that you need to do and then do them. That's reality. That's what nobody wants to admit, because admitting so means that you have to take responsibility for where you are currently. And you have to say, I am where I am currently because I didn't do X, Y, and Z. And guess what? That hurts a little bit. But once you accept that truth, you are able to then move forward with the actions required to get you to where you want to go.
Discipline your body, free your mind, get up early and go. Get after it, and you will become the person you want to be. And you become that person through one small decision at a time.
What do you do when you've lost your spirit, you've lost your job, you lost everything, life been devastated, and you losing every day? Life whipping your butt every day. Life is like a grindstone. It can polish you or it can pulverize you, depending on how you position yourself. Out of 365 days, there are going to be days you don't feel like getting up. There are going to be days you don't want to work out. There's going to be days that you don't want to practice. There might be days you don't even feel like getting in the game.
This is where most of you break. At test day, when you just lost your best customer, when you're fighting with your wife or your husband or your boyfriend or your girlfriend, when you just got betrayed by a good friend, when you feel like the sun don't come up and you just want to shelter down, that day, you give twice as much. If I go to bed at 4 a.m. because I stayed up all night, let's say my kids are sick, and I say I'm going to go to the gym at 5, I go to the gym at 5. You know why? I'm not going to break on a test day.
Don't fail the test. Don't give in. Don't quit.
You grab your enemy by the throat and you keep fighting. And you keep fighting and you keep fighting and you keep fighting no matter what.
Test days are not something to be dreaded. Test days are only to be dreaded by people who can't pass the test. And all of you have the ability to pass the test.
It is on those days that determine how your life builds. You wake up today, got a headache? Suck it up. You wake up this morning, don't feel like going to the gym? Most people don't. Go anyways. You wake up this morning, don't feel like talking to somebody? You need to talk to somebody as fast as possible. Test days are what make you a savage.
You gotta discipline yourself, and you gotta learn that when you don't feel like it, you must still do it or actually go harder when you don't feel like it.
Those that can kill test days and stay about it all day long are those that annihilate the rest. I want you to make a commitment today that from this point forward, you're gonna become the most savage that ever lived. You're gonna be smarter, you're not gonna stop, and you're gonna give it all you got.
We live as prisoners in our minds. We're in a mental recession. It's time for us to realize a lot of people are getting weaker right now. It's time for us to get strong. When everything falls apart in your life and your plan is up, what you're gonna do is only one option. Stay hard.
You can't never feel bad when you put forth 120%. You can't let the outcomes make you feel whack. I'm not whack, I'm a warrior. You know how much I went through to make that thing happen? You know how many trials and tribulations, you know how many obstacles I had to get through to make that work? I got through all of them. Oh, I feel depressed. I'm going through it. Stay focused. Stay focused on the goal. You are so focused on what you can't control that you're not putting your energy, your spirit, your ethos, your trust on what you can control. What you can control is putting your gym shoes on and going for a run. What you can control is what time you go to bed. What you can control is what time you wake up. What you can control is what you watch on TV. What you can control is how you use your schedule. What you can control, you can control. This ain't time to be whining. This ain't time to be crying. This is time to get focused. You think the lion look the way it does because of what it eat? You think that physique is that because of what it eat? It's not. It's the hunt that make it look like that. It's the hunt. Because every time it get up and it go out, it's got to run. Every time it go out, it's got to jump on my man and boom, bring my man to the ground. But I promise you, whatever they catch, it ain't just letting them eat it. It's a fight going on. And every time it fight, it gets stronger. Every time it fight, it get more ferocious. Every time it fight, it becomes more of what it is.
Your mind has to be stronger than your feelings. On those bad days, when you think that you're alone, you just might be. Because you know why? No one else wants to do it. So you be that always gets it done.
Every step you take, you get that much stronger.
The greatest of all time, if you were to peel back who they are on the outside and look deep within their soul, you're going to find a savage warrior. Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, these dudes weren't on the court at 4 a.m. in the morning doing chest passes and free throws because they wanted to win over the hearts and minds of the fans. No, they wanted to go out and slit throats every single day of their lives in their careers. And when people tell you you can't, people tell you you won't, people tell you your dreams are too big, you're never going to accomplish them, when are you going to grow up and get realistic? When your girlfriends leave you, your boyfriends abandon you, when all that happens, we got to know what to do with this energy, otherwise it sucks. It paralyzes us. It makes us ineffective. So we take all the negative, we take all the frustration, we take all the things, and we don't lash back out. We take it and we put it up on our shoulder as a big giant ship. And every single time that we feel like not doing what we should do, every single time we feel like quitting, every single time we feel like throwing in the towel, we go up here and we list down the things that people have said to us. We list down the things that people have done to us, and we find the energy to go take productive action.
So I'll hear people say, if you believe it, then you can achieve it. And the problem with that is they're leaving out the most important part of the equation. And that part is work, action, actually doing something. That's what you have to do to achieve anything. Yeah, you gotta believe it, but you better get the work done.
And most people will not be successful. They will not reach whatever they wrote because when there's not anything emotionally attached to it, they're gonna quit and give up. Most people were closer than they ever thought they were to finishing that big thing, but they never finished it because they didn't feel like finishing it. Or they were doing it and it was pain. And most people quit in the pain because the pain hurts so bad that they don't know if they want to keep going to get to go. Because you're going to wake up most days and not feel like it. You're going to wake up most days and not be pumped up. You're going to wake up most days and not feel like doing it. But when you can get to a point that you do it anyway, then there's no way you won't reach any of your goals.
There's things that you know you're supposed to do as a human being. Things that you know are going to improve your life. Do those things. There's things that you know are going to make you a worse person and make your life worse. Don't do those things. Get up early, do some kind of workout, eat good foods, clean your room, make a list of things that you're supposed to do in your life, and then wake up in the morning and do those things. And no, it is not easy, but you're not going to get it from anyone else but you.
You think things are going to just go your way? Well, they're not going to just go your way. You got to make them go your way. You think things are going to just happen for you? Well, they're not just going to happen for you. You got to make them happen.
If you wrote that this is the class that you were signed up for, then be at every single class. Make up in your mind, I will not miss one class. Every engagement I do, I don't care what event it is. When I show up, I'm bringing you the best version of Eric Thomas. No excuses.
Because I'm pissed off for greatness. Because if you ain't pissed off for greatness, that means you're okay with being mediocre.
Nobody owes you. If you want something, go out there and get it. Go out and take it. That's all there is to it.
The standard is the standard. We don't lower it. We compete, we fight, we scrap, we live to fight another day. We don't retreat against nobody. That ain't talent. That's essence. That's core. That's who I am as a person. That's how I get down. That's how I'm coming. That's what that is. And every time you get ready to stop, every time you get ready to quit, that's you as a man. But when you press forward, in the midst of the opposition, in the midst of the adversity, you're building a mentality that's going to sustain you 20, 30, 40, 50 years from now.
As we begin to focus on developing ourselves, as we begin to elevate ourselves and not to follow the crowd, activating the thinker in us and disciplining and putting on hold the emotional part of ourselves, it's not easy, but through practice and practice and practice, practice makes improvement. You can always better your best. You can always go beyond anything that you have ever done. And so all you're looking for are new breakthroughs through practice and practice. You'll get better and better. Because you want some different kind of results in your life, you've got to be willing to be unreasonable. If you want unreasonable results in your life, you've got to be willing to be unreasonable. Part of being unreasonable, you don't judge according to appearances. Part of being unreasonable, you can see it because you believe it. That's part of being unreasonable. Part of being unreasonable, you must have the faith to call forth those things that be not as though they were. That's part of being unreasonable.
You gotta get up earlier. You gotta stay up later. You gotta execute, and you gotta go from 70.
You can't quit now. I don't care if you don't have the money, and you don't have the help, and you don't have the family for it, and you don't have the friends for it. You cannot quit. You might have to make adjustments. You might have to find another way. You might have to learn new things. You might not move as quick. You might not have as much, but you cannot quit.
If I was gonna quit, I would have quit a long time ago. I've come too far for that now. I will not be defeated. And I've made up in my mind that I will get a reward for the pain that I go through, no matter the price.
You could get through this, because you bigger than this, you badder than this, you tougher than this. And when you get to the other side, you're gonna be better, you're gonna be bigger, you're gonna be bolder.
A person's character is not judged when they ride the wave of success, when everyone chants their name and you want to be their friend. No, your character is put to the test when your back is against the wall.
Somebody told you it was over. Somebody sent you home. Somebody told you you'll never be a doctor. They sent you home, you failed. Never give up. You don't give up on me. You don't quit on me. You man up. You woman up. You get your life back. When you come up against that thing, I'll do that thing. And you can't do it when you get there. You gotta already make up your mind before you get to cancer. You gotta already make up your mind before you get to that exam and pass that exam. You gotta make up in your mind when you're talking to your husband, when you're talking to your wife, when you're talking to that sickness. You gotta look at it before you even get to it, so don't you ever give up.
Failure has made me who I am today. Failure gives you two choices. You stay down or you get up. Well, I'm up and I am fired up because I have figured it out.
You're gonna make it. In fact, you're gonna be better.
When life knocks your butt down, I need you to get back up and I need you to go heavy. When uncertainty creeps in, I need you to get up and get right back on the thing that knocked you off and I need you to go heavy on it. When something doesn't turn out the way you want it to turn out, I need you to attack the very thing that didn't turn out the way that you wanted it to turn out, and I need you to go heavy on it. You don't judge a person by where they stand in times of comfort and convenience. You judge them by where they stand in times of challenge and controversy. And when you work for something, it gives you a different type of attachment to it. The harder you work, the harder it is to surrender. That's why cats can give up so easy. They ain't got nothing invested.
When people die, or people get sick, or something happens in your life, if all you're doing it for is a car and a house, that can stop you. But if you're doing it for your mom, for your siblings, for your family, for your community, nothing can stop you. You cannot be broken. When you have an intrinsic goal, when you're doing it because you value it, when you're doing it because you can, when you're doing it because it represents who you are, when it's internal, no mountain, no trial, no tribulation, nothing can stop you.
And no matter what you walk through, no matter how broken your life is right now, no matter how many times you failed, there's a power within you that's stronger than whatever's going on around you. So I'm not retreating, I'm not running, I'm not going anywhere. I'm gonna win.
I got here not because I'm the strongest, not because I'm the fastest, not because I'm the best, but I kept fighting and fighting and fighting. And I just made up in my mind, I'm gonna get through this. You are not gonna stop me. I got too far. I've come too far to give up now.
Regardless of what happens to you in life, regardless of the adversity, regardless of the opposition, regardless of the trials and tribulations, nothing can stop you. The only thing that can stop you is you.
You want affirmation? Look yourself in the mirror and say, I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. I know I can. Do whatever it takes. You your biggest driver.
I don't have that natural beauty or that natural talent or this gift for creativity or intellect or humor. I don't have any of those things. But what I got is I will outwork you. When it's 45 on the treadmill, I do 46. When it's supposed to be 20 phone calls, I make 21. When it's supposed to be an 8-hour workday, I work 9. Whatever it is, I always do one more. And what that does is it makes me eventually think I'm doing things other people aren't willing to do, so I should get things other people aren't going to get.
You've got to understand, it's not about what you were born with. It's not about what you were given, where you started, or even where you're going. It is entirely about what you plant at the center of your soul. How hard you're willing to go after something, how much focus you're willing to put in your life, and how often you come back to that level of intensity for who you want to be.
You have to make a decision that nobody in your position will outwork you.
Some people run faster, swim better, but mentality is mentality. You're not going to outwork me, so I'm going to catch up somewhere.
If you are not that talented, you can beat them with time. You can get to the spot before they get to the spot. I do things to separate myself from everybody else. The passion that I have, the grind that I have when I do what I do. I got a different motor. I got a different grind.
I'm always going to give it my 110%. That's the only thing I can ever say a solid day's work. If you guys do not do that, I promise you, your life will haunt you for the rest of your days.
From today on, you play whatever your best game is, you play that level every single time. It doesn't mean you're going to score every time, but you can always give 120% effort. You can't dictate what kind of game you're going to have. You can't dictate how your body is going to respond to moving around, but you can dictate your effort. Your dream comes when you push. And nobody gonna give you no cookies and ice cream. Push. It's alive. It's inside. How do you know you feel it? You dream about it. You eat and sleep it every day. So push. Just push past the pain. Push. Don't quit. Push. And you push your way to success. You have a chance to control your destiny. All of us are created equal. Some of us just work harder. Some of us just grind. Some of us don't make excuses. Some of us don't give up and give in. What we do with the pressure is we say, I gotta take it, and I gotta take it to another level. You get a breakthrough when you fight. That's the hardest part, because the breakthrough, that last 10%, is all mental toughness.
It's time to unwrap the potential you can be. It's within you. And the people that have risen to that level were no different than any one of us.
Right now, we have the most valuable asset on earth on our side. Time. But it's running out. And right now, you guys are sitting there. And to make that first step towards greatness is the hardest step. But there is one thing harder than that, my friends. It's later in life. As you look back on your life, the windows of opportunity has closed. Your ability is no longer present.
and you think back that you could have been great. Right now, you had the ability to never have that debate inside your head. That's the debate you can never win. Now, all that's left is you in a self-arrest, self-corral state, thinking, wow, I could have done something with my life. Now I'm stuck with this whole life I'm in. And you're in here hurting, man. And you're wondering, how do you go on? Better question is, how can you not go on?
You know what you need to do. You know what you need to do. It's in your mind right now. But you don't feel like doing it. You don't feel like getting up. You don't feel like doing the work. You don't feel like working hard. And if you don't feel like working hard, if you don't feel like getting up, then you better feel like losing. You better feel like getting weaker, because that's what's going to happen if you don't do what you're supposed to do.
And people say, like, what do you tell yourself? I'm not telling myself anything. I'm not allowed to talk.
I'm not trying to convince myself. I'm not trying to negotiate with myself. I'm not debating what I should do. I am executing the plan.
You shouldn't have to figure out how to explain to yourself what you need to do.
You should just go make things happen.
You should just go execute.
Be the guy who executes on your goals every day. Don't be like everyone you know who's going to tell you a bunch of this year and be the same 12 months from now that they are today. Be what it is you claim to be about. Be what it is you truly want to be. If you truly want to be successful, if you truly want to change your life, be about it today. And then when today's over, be about it tomorrow. And when you do that, winning becomes not something that you aspire to do. Winning becomes who you are.
Most people act slow, think slow, don't write down, they don't move quick. If I have an imagination, if I have a vision, but I don't execute, no one will know my name.
Time is running out on you, and you're too slow, you're too casual, you think too much. The separator is going to be who takes massive action quickly.
What I've learned about the greats is that they understand it's a sense of urgency, that once the clock goes out, it's a W or an L. You either win or you lose. And so you got to pick up the pace. You walking too slow, pick up the pace. You moving too slow, pick up the pace. You don't have a lot of time. You only got 24 hours. So all of your energy needs to go into your goals. Become decisive, become driven, become ambitious, be competitive. Go get it.
Driven people destroy everything that gets in their way. Let me explain what driven means. How you wake up when the sun don't shine. How you wake up when you just lost your best customer. Don't care. I ain't going down. I'm staying high. At the end of the losers quitting, that's where you'll find the winner. You want to know where the winners are? The millionaires? They're just playing where the quitters left.
The reason I'm successful is because I execute whether I have the fire or whether I don't have the fire. You have the choice to be whatever you want to be. You can choose to have discipline. You can choose to invest in personal development. You can choose how to spend your nights and weekends. You can choose who you surround yourself with. You can choose to go the extra mile for others. You can choose to persevere. You can choose to take pride in every detail. You can choose to be enthusiastic. You can choose to take initiative and do what needs to be done. You can choose to accept responsibility for yourself, your situation, and every situation around you. You can choose to be a lifetime student of success. You can choose to execute day in and day out. You can choose to not cut corners. You can choose to do work. And you can choose success. Your actions make that choice for you every single day. So what's it gonna be?
Don't put forth half effort unless you're okay with half results. Unless you're okay with not making 6 figures or 7 figures, unless you're okay with losing, then keep giving the effort you're putting forth.
To be successful is never convenient. The things that you have to go through is never convenient.
And the reason why some of you can give me 120 on Monday, because everything look good on Monday. Like, you're excited, I'm gonna be a millionaire, I'm gonna change the world, I'm gonna do this for this person, I'm gonna buy this for my mom and my children, I'm gonna put them through school, and you got all these great dreams, and then you get up in the morning and life punch you in your face.
As long as it's a perfect day, you operate at excellence. But as soon as the circumstances change, you quit, you give up.
Because we all gonna hit that wall. We're all gonna hit opposition. We're all gonna hit adversity. But I think we all know at the core, it's never about what happens to you, it's about how you respond to it. You can control that.
In the midst of escalating levels of anxiety provoked by today's increasing complexity and accelerating change, the thing that any leader or successful person must have is resiliency. The ability to bounce back in the face of every challenge, every opposition, every failure, every setback. And the key is never, ever, ever give up. I need effort from you. I need you to match whatever effort the enemy is putting up. Whoever your enemy is, match the doggone efforts. When you get out there, I need you killed to be killed when you get out there. We ain't playing no more. We ain't taking no prisoners no more. When you get out there, whatever you can get, go get it. Because they gonna get it before you get it. And they ain't gonna give it to you. So you go out there and get what's yours. Ain't nobody out there giving you your personal freedom. If you're going to get your personal freedom, they ain't giving it away. You gotta go get it. You gotta go earn it.
Test days come. They come over and over and over again. The purpose of these days is so that you can prove to yourself, not the rest of the world, that you are the kind of person that possesses the mental fortitude, the grit, the toughness, the perseverance, the discipline to get things done regardless of what the situation is. And if you become this kind of person who can get things done regardless of what's going on, regardless of what's going on in the economy, regardless of what's going on in your personal life, regardless of how you feel, regardless of the weather, how can you be stopped by anything? You cannot.
What you fighting for? What's your legacy? What you gonna do? You say you a champ, but do you practice like a champ? You say you a champ, do you fight like a champ? You say you a champ, do you have the mentality of a champ? I'm so strong mentally that when I get tired, that's when I get that dog. That's when I'm ready to go. You gotta start thinking I'm the grittiest in the world. Not only do I climb that doggone mountain, I enjoy climbing the mountain. I get a kick out the mountain. I get a kick out the weights. I get a kick out of fatigue. I get a kick out of the grind. I get a kick out of it.
There's an adaptation process that goes into mental hardening. The body has to know and get around with it. The adaptation process comes into suffering, comes to the things you don't want to do.
It's when you have nothing left. It's when you depleted all your money, when all your energy gone, when you have nothing left, that's when it's showtime.
That you're always looking for a way to get over, always looking for a way that you can break through, always looking for a way that you can win, always looking for a way that you can strike a telling blow.
When you find a way out of no way, when you find breath that you don't have, when you find energy that did not exist, that's when you find a way.
If you guys mentally believe you can do it, your body will find a way to make it happen for you.
Because sometimes you'll get hurt and you gotta be able to bounce back. You gotta be resilient. You might pass the test on the 4th try, not the 1st, not the 2nd, not the 3rd, and you gotta have the ability to get back up and act like you ain't never failed in the first place. You not average. Why you being average? You not average. Why you being good when you not good? You great. You phenomenal. When you gonna step up to the plate?
You gotta build a level of excellence about yourself that stands the test of time, and no matter what happens in front of you, you are character true. I know who you are because you're the same person in adversity, in victory, in defeat. You're the same.
Beast mode is I will not stop when others stop. I will not quit when it gets hard. I will not complain. I will not worry. I will find a way when there is no way. I will make a door when there is no door. I will create finance when there is no finance. I will find an opportunity when it doesn't exist. But I will not be defeated.